Welcome back, everyone. Today we're going to be talking about finding circumference. Now, circumference, if you remember from yesterday, is the distance all the way around the outside of a circle. So for example, in this can, the top is a circle. The circumference is if I take a measuring tape and I measure all the way around it. The distance all the way around would be the circumference of this circle. Before we can talk about circumference, we first have to talk about something called pi. Now, what is pi? Pi is represented by the symbol pi. It's actually a Greek letter and it's pronounced pi. It's that symbol. It is actually the number you would get if you divide a circle's circumference by its diameter, and it's about 3.14. What I mean by that, if you take a circle, any circle, doesn't matter how big, doesn't matter how small, and you measure all the way around the circle to get the circumference, then you measure straight across the circle to get its diameter, here to here. If you take the circumference and you divide it by the diameter, it will actually always give you the same answer. It will always give you an answer that's about 3.14. It doesn't matter how big or how small your circle is. Giant circle, itty bitty circle, doesn't matter. Outside circumference divided by straight across divided by diameter will always be 3.14. Because of that, we can use pi to find things like circumference and area of a circle because we know that relationship between the outside, the circumference, and the diameter will always be this constant number. It will always be 3.14. So we use that to find circumference if we know diameter. So finding circumference if you know diameter, there's a formula for that. The formula is the circumference of the circle equals pi times the diameter of the circle. So circumference equals pi times diameter. We abbreviate that as C equals pi d. We use abbreviations just because mathematicians are a little bit lazy. We don't want to write out all those long words all the time. So we just abbreviate it, C equals pi d. Now, in this circle, the diameter is 16. You can tell it's a diameter because it goes all the way across the circle, going through the center point. If I want to find the circumference of this circle, if I want to find all the way around it, I don't have to measure it. I can use the fact that the diameter is 16 and the fact that I know that pi is always about 3.14, and I can just plug things into my formula. So I don't know circumference, that's what I'm finding. I'm going to keep it C. For pi, I'm going to put 3.14 because pi is about 3.14, and I'm going to multiply that times the diameter, 16. I'm going to put that in my calculator. You can use a calculator at home on tonight's assignment. So I do 3.14 times 16, and I get 50.24. So the circumference is about 50.24. Now I say about because 3.14 is an approximation of pi. It's not exactly 3.14, we're approximating there. So our answer is also an approximation. So really, I should say the circumference is about, and use a wiggly line, 50.24 yards. I can also find circumference using radius. So we can also find the circumference if you know the radius. The formula here is a little bit different. The formula, if you know the radius, is that the circumference equals 2 times pi times the radius. Where does that 2 come from? It comes from the fact that you need 2 radii, you need a radius twice, in order to be an entire diameter. So since we only have a piece of the diameter, we only have a half of it, we need 2 of them to get all the way across our circle. So that's why there's a 2 in this one. So circumference is 2 times pi times the radius, or we can abbreviate that as C equals 2 pi r. If you know the radius, in this case is 14, we can again plug that in. So 2 is just going to stay 2. I'm going to approximate 3.14 for pi. And then my radius, I'm going to plug in 14. I put that into my calculator, so I do 2 times 3.14 times 14, and I get that C is about 87.92. Now again, this is an approximation because 3.14 was an approximation. I didn't use all of pi. Pi goes on forever. I just used a couple of numbers. So this is not the exact answer, so we're going to say about 87.92 millimeters is about our circumference of this circle. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Go ahead and try the homework. Please email me if you have any questions. Bye!